Let me show you how I take this little bag of vanilla beans and turn it into liquid gold. So here I have some B grade vanilla beans, and of course you gotta have some alcohol to go with that. Here I have some vodka in a bottle that I'm gonna put it all in. First I'm gonna weigh my vanilla beans, which I think, even though you can't see the scale here, I think it turned out to be either 3.9 or 3.1, and I'll explain that in a minute. So I'm just going to split the beans straight down the middle. Be very careful here. Make sure you have a sharp knife. And we're just going to split it down the middle. I like to keep one end intact. I don't know why, I just do. It makes it easier for me later when I get it out of the bottle. So we're just going to drop them in the jar. So when you're buying vanilla beans, you don't necessarily need to buy grade A vanilla beans unless you're going to be using them fresh in something like a creme anglaise or ice cream or something like that. So I just buy B grade. Also, what you saw me do there was I use the back of my knife whenever the beans are twisted to just flatten it out to make it easier to cut. So here we have number 49 and 50 going into the jar. I saved you guys from watching me slice them all. Just give the jar a little shake to settle them down. So the other day when I made cheesecake, I also made a batch of vanilla extract that day, but I didn't have enough vanilla beans to alcohol ratio. So I like a double fold vanilla. What that means is I like 2 ounces of vanilla beans to every 8 ounces of alcohol. So when I put it in the jar the other day, the vanilla beans were sticking out of the alcohol, and I don't like that. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to add, I think I added like 4 or 6 ounces, I can't remember, of alcohol, of vodka to these 50 beans that I just put in there. And then I'm going to add that vanilla extract that I made the other day to this jar. And I think I ended up with a total of like 28 ounces of alcohol to like 7 ounces of beans, if my math is correct. I think that's what I got. So anyway, I'm going to try to show you here, which I'm working on my camera setup. So if you can see the color of that vanilla from just, I think it's just a little over a week of sitting there. You'll see all that vanilla caviar going in there. Some of the best stuff ever, guys. So I highly recommend that you make your own vanilla extract. So I'm just going to take the beans from that old jar and put it into the new one. And then I'm going to put a little bit more vodka just to get the rest of that vanilla caviar out of the jar. And then in a minute, I'm going to show you the rest of my vanilla collection, which I chose Tahitian this time just because it was a little bit cheaper than Madagascar, but they're both comparable in my eyes. They're both delicious. So those are the two that I usually go with, though, Tahitian or Madagascar. And you will never see anything in my kitchen without a label. I am a stickler for labeling everything. My years in commercial kitchen has taught me that. So everything gets a label. This one I put both dates just so that I would remember. Excuse me. So yeah, here I have some Tahitian vanilla that I made last year, and I use different alcohols. This one you'll see is a spiced rum. I have some in vodka. I have some in whipped cream vodka. I have some in whiskey. I have some in bourbon. So, just whatever I feel like experimenting with that day. And then I also have some cinnamon sticks in vodka there. That jar in the back that has just vanilla beans, I will use that from my old vanilla extract and make vanilla bean paste, which you see there. And I will show you guys how to do that next time.